Jokes. It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Jokes. I'm here with Sin, and it is time for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler Boys.
Yeah. Let the crowd say get spoiled. She-Hulk episode 3. The Attorney at Law. Before we dig in, where are we on this episode? Sin, start with you.
I'm at the same place I was with the last two. I'm still enjoying it just as much as the last two, so I'm good with it so far.
All right, what's that put you at? An 8?
Yeah, about 8 still. Yep.
All right, Jokes.
I'm in the exact same place. Solid 8. It wasn't bad at all. Entertained me. Interesting. Laughed. So I'm good with it.
Okay. I think I'm in the same boat, gentlemen. I don't think I'm it's weird because generally what I found with the MCU shows is that the first 3 episodes are usually the setup. Everything that is whatever's gonna happen that's gonna be major in whatever way it's gonna be, the first 3 episodes are usually the setup. It's the here's who it is, here's what they can do, and here's what's going down. Like, it's kind of like in that order. And I think this is kind of in the same place. What I will say about this is that currently I think I'm still in a place where I think this is the best show they've done. I was in that realm with Miss Marvel. I enjoyed every episode of Miss Marvel. There were some missteps, but I enjoyed every episode. I think the only other show where I feel like I enjoyed every single episode starting from the beginning is probably Loki. And I'm not positive it started out quite this strong. There is something different about this show, and it might be the more direct comedic direction that they're taking with it. Loki had comedy, but it still takes itself seriously. This joint is like not taking itself seriously at all. Like, it's allowed to play with tropes, I think, because of just how she's so self-aware and the fact that she understands that you're watching a show. Like, her fourth wall breaking ability, which is again a normal thing for She-Hulk. I think this kind of allows them to put a little pressure where the stakes are clearly gonna have to get high, but like all in due time. It's kind of like we're along for the ride together, because she's like literally hands off the steering wheel, stopping to talk to you like, hey, listen, don't forget whose show this is. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of like,
I got these guests here, but don't you forget.
Yeah, like, don't get it twisted though. This still Jennifer Walters' show. And I think there's a lot of little minor things that they just do throughout that I feel like just hold you. The other thing is, I think while initially the shorter episode thing kind of bothered me, I think this is hitting its stride. I think the pacing
I think
is
so.
better.
I think so.
I think in other episodes it's kind of been like, in other shows it's dragged a little bit in certain places, or you get episodes that are 45 minutes, and you get episodes that are like 38 minutes, and you get episodes that are, and it just kind of is like a little all over the place. This feels more cohesive, and it feels like it's more on purpose. And I don't know if that is as a result of maybe when this show was shot, maybe them having a little more time or a little more control, or being a little more used to working under pandemic circumstances. You know what I mean? And kind of like, all right, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we'll make it work. So, like, right now, the biggest complaint that I'm hearing still is more directed towards the CG than it is towards anything else that's really happening in the show, is more of what I'm hearing. So again, there's like 5 episodes or whatever left to go. 6 episodes left to go. It's 9 episodes, right? Yeah. So 6 episodes left to go. Any number of things could happen, but there also feels like there's enough happening within each episode. So again, like even though they're short episodes, you're still kind of getting multiple storylines within that episode, which she even acknowledges at one point, like, oh, okay, tying the A story and the B story together. You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like there's all these people being introduced and I can't remember where they from or what faction they belong to or, you know, whatever. It just doesn't feel anywhere near as far flung. It feels more grounded. And I don't know if that's because the character herself is more grounded, whether it's the fourth wall thing or it's just because she's not, unlike Miss Marvel, unlike Kamala Khan, who is like over the top super fan of the Avengers, and like where clearly we're seeing a world where people are getting used to the fact that this is a thing. People have powers and blah blah blah. For her, it's like, hey, yeah, dog, but I just want to do my job. You know what I mean?
Pay these loans off, pay these bills.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And there's this weird balance of trying to really act like it's nothing, it's not a big deal, versus, you know, it's gonna have to be a big deal. You know what I mean, or whatever. So like, right now, I think this show is hitting on all cylinders in a way that I don't think any of the rest of them have quite done. But I'd say that Miss Marvel was probably the closest. But that this show vibes a little bit more with what I want, like as an adult, I guess am looking for in a show. So yeah. So, I mean, I would still say it's probably sitting at about an 8. But it's more consistent. I think that's the perfect word to use for it. Yeah. The fact that I mean, at this point, it would feel dumb if they broke the cycle and didn't have an after credit joint or like a mid credit scene for every episode. Yeah. But again, that makes it feel like it's more on purpose and it's more, you know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be that we're dropping the most significant bomb, but I guess if Megan Thee Stallion is
hey, it did what it needed to do. Like in typical Marvel fashion, it broke the internet.
Oh yeah.
I think they accomplished what a normal after credit scene of a Marvel movie would do. So
yeah, I mean, like for all the people who've been asking why we gotta have a female Hulk instead of a whatever, twerking. That's why. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, because She-Hulk is so different from Hulk. You know what I mean?
That separates it. Because I swear to God, if I see Bruce Banner do that, it's like, nope.
I'll die laughing, but still.
Oh, I would die laughing. Bruce, now we do need to have a conversation, sir.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the episode a little bit. The idea of her having to go back to Blonsky and be like, bro, you didn't think this was important information for you to divulge to me, that you have been Abomination and you have been out of this cell, Slim? You just not going, you just didn't. He's so chill, bro.
Oh, he reminds me now of Sir Ben. I said this last night. He reminds me of him playing just the
Trevor Slattery joint.
Trevor, yeah, he just gives me that same vibe now for it.
He is so zen.
I don't trust it.
I still don't either.
I don't either. I definitely don't.
I don't trust it.
And if
but it's working.
If he is swelling, yeah, he's selling it right now.
What? You know, my man just being like, he's like, this is the thing. She's showing him the footage of the fight, And he's looking at the joint like, dang, look at me, Joe. Like he's looking at that joint like, oh, for real? I was getting it with Wong. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, he just, and it doesn't until she says to him, like, to him it's nothing until she's like, this is going to significant. Like, there's no chance of you getting parole. He was like, huh? What you mean?
You broke like 5 laws. All
right.
It just clicked on him.
Right. And he's like, nah, but see, I it wasn't me. Like, it wasn't up to me. I was forced out against my will, you know? And then, like, bro, she's like, wait a minute. The Sorcerer Supreme pulled you out again, answering questions that we've had that go back like 2 years now or whatever, right? Of like, dog, what is Abomination doing with Wong?
Right.
Fighting in the joint, and then you just see them having a casual conversation like, hey man, like you pulling it, you supposed to be da whatever. All right, come on, let's go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just it just speaks to like the through lines and like where Feige is as like just in like having control over the creative. You know, the fact that you go back and you watch Shang-Chi, and when Wong opens that portal for him to step through, it's literally the same.
It's itself.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's nuts. And those things, tying things together that well in such a very, very, very comic book way, is part of why I think this show is working so well, because it's quick. But there's so much information. There's so much that's happening. And if you're aware, there's even more information, you know, that's happening. So for her to reach out back to her friend, a paralegal, and be like, yeah, it's this dude named Wong. Like, can you get him? She's like, yeah, I get him. I set a thirst trap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
her holding some books.
it's me holding books. Whatever.
And I liked it in the credits at the end when they do the illustrations. They illustrated like her taking
the book. Yeah, her holding the book. It's also like just what they do with social media. Like, I'm assuming that whatever they were looking on was supposed to be like this MCU version of LinkedIn. Because this dude Wong's work history, the Supreme, the Librarian of Carmitage, and this dude worked at Target for 9 years. Come on, dog. What are they doing, bro? What are they doing? It's just, again, it's like little stuff that they're just doing that it's kind of like, it's not even really there for you to like necessarily pick up on. It's just Easter eggs all over the place. You know what I'm saying? For 9 years, this dude worked at Target.
And now you're the Sorcerer Supreme.
What?
I wonder, dog. I would love to know what happened to go from the Target to just working in the library. Like, what life event happened to you that either you sought out the great ones that have to go there? What, like? I
didn't even look to see, like, because it's all in the same area. It's in like Nepal or whatever, something like that, like where the Target is. I don't even know if they have Targets there, but that'd be crazy. And I didn't look to see if the time, maybe he was working part-time, like maybe he was doing both, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, he could have been. But you know, stuff like that is just like, it's just there, it's fun. You know what I mean? And clearly Target is canon, and Wong used to work there.
Yep.
And if they put out a Wong in a Target uniform, bro, I have to have it.
Yes.
Hey, give me the
Target
Wong
exclusive,
Funko
like vinyl pop or whatever.
I'm all over it.
That would, ooh.
I'm all over
it. I have to have it. I'm in there.
Target need to do that. Yeah, Pops and Target need to
do
that.
Don't they?
Yeah, they need to. Yeah.
So, all right. They get interrupted. I need you in my office right away. Type dealio. Goes in the office. My man Pug is in the joint, and Dennis from the DA's office is in that joint. My man needs some help. Hey, son, talk to me about this dude, Dennis, real quick, man. Talk to me about something, bro.
Entertaining. I will highly say that. He is a piece of work. and he needs guidance. he was hilarious. He was hilarious this entire episode. Like he had me constantly laughing.
100%.
Yeah. Like I didn't think he was as delusional as he was. It's just as further and further we get into the episode of his trial, I'm just like, half the time I'm like, dude, just shut your mouth. You're not helping your case.
It's confidence. You got to be confident about that.
Hey, Slim, she walks in the office and immediately rolls her whole face, bro. And
like this dude.
It's like, and when he starts saying like, yeah, he was defrauded by a woman, you know, whatever. I took her here. I did this. I bought her a Volkswagen Passat. Paid that joint off, you know, da da da. She's just like looking at him like, and so then the other woman comes in who is a rival of hers from the comic books or whatever, and it's like, I can't have a 10. She might be my future girl. Like, how you doing? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out.
Good.
Yeah.
Want no parts of this.
Yeah. He's like, what about him? He looks like a cool dude. Is he a lawyer? I'll take him. All right, bro. Okay, but why the Superhuman Law Division? Oh, because this is a shape-shifting light elf from New Asgard. I thought she was Megan Thee Stallion. Hold up, bro. You thought you was dating Megan Thee Stallion, like 3-time Grammy Award winning Megan
look on Jen's face.
Thee Stallion, right? And he's like, I mean, yeah, and she's like, you thought Megan Thee Stallion drives a Passat?
I was like,
which is like, I don't know how Volkswagen will feel about this comment as a whole, right? Like,
I thought that about that first. I was like, oh, they're not gonna sponsor her.
Yeah. Hey, bro. It just is like, thank you, Wong, for showing up. You know what I'm saying? Right there at that very moment.
True source of Supreme fashion. Just right, the portal opens up.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. What's up? I got your message. Okay, cool. Thirst trap work. I was waiting for him to be like, where's Shorty with the books at, though?
Where's Shorty with the books?
Yeah. I'm trying to see what them books is about. Yeah. She got to go off and go deal with Wong. Wong's like, yeah, nah, it's true. I took him against his will. I needed somebody that I could practice against so that I could be the Sorcerer Supreme. That's all it is. Yeah. And so as a Sorcerer Supreme, I say he don't get no penalties. And that's not how this works, bro.
And he's like, Jesus, my man was about to get up and just walk on out.
Hold up. Stay right there for a second. We got to talk about this.
I'm not the one who's gonna punish him. It's gonna be someone else. I'm gonna need you to show up and say that. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere like I need you. Meanwhile, my man Pug is in the office with Dennis. Let's talk, bro. How much money you spent? 50,000. You bought a car, so like mid-size sedan, like 50,000,
200,000. Like,
oh no,
like,
come on now.
It's around about.
He's weak, bro. He's weak, bro. I hate him, yeah, which is why I love it. You know what I'm saying? 175. Oh, for real?
175,000? Like.
All right. So you gonna take the case? I'm gonna look into some stuff, man, and I'll get back to you, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? No sooner than my man leaves, right back in the room, like, hey, you know what? I had a change of heart.
I'm gonna drop this jump.
I'm kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I immediately was like,
I was already already.
My man Puck was buying it too. Like, for real? Let me take this call. This Bama said he parked his Cybertruck in a handicap space. This dude said, they say it was handicapped, but I swore it said Cybertruck parking. What the fuck? I hate this dude, yeah. I hate him, yo. She turned around and walk out ass Puck. Sexual harassment is my jam.
No, I am not like that.
y'all know me. That was, hey, listen, that's one of the funniest moments when he looked at me like, y'all know me. Like, oh,
and nobody say nothing though.
yeah, like, hey, dog. Yeah, I said, all right, this joint is about to be a thing. All right. We got Wong squared away, and who knows what Pug's gonna have to dealing with Slim. Hey Slim, when they sit down in the courtroom and Shorty's like, listen, diplomatic immunity, kick from New Asgard. My man said, yeah, we not gonna work here.
Right.
Get it out of here. I'm not even hearing you, right? My man said, my client is traumatized. He need his money back. He was in love. So snap. She said, it's no way this man believed he was dating Megan Thee Stallion. He knew what was up. My man said, I did not. Hey, dog, the judge walked away, dog, and as soon as the judge walked away, the judge came back like, hey, you know what, y'all?
What?
I was like, here she go again. Here she go again.
I'm about to drop this joint. Hey, she looked at Slim and was like,
no,
you
can't do this.
Highly illegal. Get down from here right now. Shorty just giggling like it ain't no thing. Like,
right.
All right, Slim.
Walking away, dancing, being chased by the bailiff.
Chilling, bruh. Like, yeah, pretty terrible. All right. My man Blonsky show up. Time to try to get my man off on his parole. My man Seven Pen Pal show up. Hey, Sin.
Showed up.
Let me tell you something.
What?
I don't understand. Now, I know when we did the last episode, you was like, yeah, he got the 7 female pen pals. And I was like, I don't think he ever said that. And he didn't ever say that. Like, I went back and watched that joint again. He never said it. But they definitely were. Paying for my man's
everything.
Land. They about to run.
They had their uniforms on with the little leaf halos or whatever, and the white robes. Like, oh, okay, he got a coat. Okay,
straight up.
Ski call.
This is just as dangerous.
Yes, it is.
This is just as dangerous. But this is the thing that got me. My man walked in and was like, hey, you know, look, given the footage we seen, we already know how this is gonna turn out. Why are we even doing this? Like, wait, let's wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? She's like, nah, man, I got a witness that will show that that's not, you know what I mean? And this is where I get into my bag. Like, I like that they are allowing her to lawyer
thing. Yep.
They're allowing her to lawyer. Like, there are moments in this joint where she clearly has to just think on her feet. Like, she got to be quick with it and figure some things out. And her flipping it and being like, listen, which again, look, I know we talked in the first episode about how much actual like law show do we think this is going to be. And I'll be honest, I'm still a little concerned, right? Who knows what next week's thing is going to be and who the person she has to defend is, or if they're going to give her somebody or whatever. But like, if I recall correctly, when they announced this show, it was just She-Hulk. They didn't add the attorney part
until it got ready to come out.
I feel like the fact that they added that in, that's part of what the title of the show is, attorney at law, means that you're gonna get a lot more. Like, you're gonna get that, or at least they'll be leaning into that portion of it until they can't anymore. So yeah, to see her, you know, call, and again, it's like, I don't know, man. My man Blonsky might be clean, bro. Like, people crying on the stand. He helped me get through my wife.
Yeah.
Lay it out, Carl. Lay it out. Hold on, bro.
They're making Twila kombucha now.
What? I'm like, you know, he running the library program. He done taught all these people to read.
I'm like, what is going on here?
Okay.
It's no longer a place to get shaken and quiet.
Right? It's better than that now. They really lay it out like, nah, like Blonsky really been doing his thing. Like, he has no incidents during his entire sentence. It's been 20 years, y'all. Like real time. Like, my man's been locked up. Like It's been 20 years. Which I imagine means that prison has been there for a very
long time.
Like they've had a prison designed to hold Abomination or hold Blonsky in it.
It probably was originally made maybe for like the Hulk or something like that.
It's totally possible.
Yeah,
And then,
Totally possible. But it's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
Left you.
God, I'm there for you, jokes. I stole your dad joke right out from under. So yeah, like for real, Blonsky's case is looking like super clean. You know what I mean? And like when the lady asked him, like, do you feel like you've been rehabilitated? And he's, you know, like, yeah, like
I'm good.
Meditating, I'm calm, I'm cool. Like, I just want to get back out there and be a part of society. And she asked you like any questions, and everybody was like, "Yep, I got questions.
Let's do this.
We gonna talk." And then you know it's like, all right, all this is cool, but we still have the little detail of my man breaking out and being Abomination, and her being like, "I don't understand how a man who has 0 travel time is late. Like I don't understand." But in true Sorcerer Supreme fashion, my man shows up in the nick of time.
I'm here.
Straight up says, yeah, like I forced him out of his cell, but he came back of his own free will. Like I literally offered him. He could have stayed at Carmitage, which is beautiful this time of year. He could have came and stayed there, and he insisted that he go back and finish out his sentence. Again, Blonsky might be clean, bro. Like I don't. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't put the finger on it yet. If there's an ulterior motive, like I don't know what at this point what his end game would be to put on this whole front. Obviously to get out, unless he does actually want to seek revenge against Bruce. But at this point, it's not looking like that.
My thought process on this is that he is clean. Like he does. He's in that space. We know that he can, based on what we've seen, that we know he can control, change it into Abomination and change him back. And what I'm thinking is that, yeah, he'll get out, but he's going to get recruited for being a member of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yep.
That the government is going to be back on him, that somebody's going to say something, or they're going to have something
Leverage
against him
to get,
or something. And it probably won't happen until the very end of the show. It'll probably be like the final after credit thing where Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up like,
yep,
here's what's up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I understand the thing with Wong, blah. Because again, here's where I'm at. Everything is fine and dandy. He's clean record, doing all this stuff to help people. Namaste. He ready to go and just kind of live his life and have a meditation camp and whatever. Who leaked the footage?
Still.
Who leaked the footage? Where did the footage come from? And why did they do it right before he's supposed to go on parole? Who's in on it? Who set it up? Right? So either somebody wanted him to have to stay in prison, which would have been the perfect setup for them coming and being like, hey, you still stuck here, but I got a way to get you out. Well, this is what we can do to work that whole thing out, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So it seemed that would be, to me, the perfect setup for her to be like, let me throw this out there, keep him from getting on parole. Now he's stuck. And I got some leverage to use to get him to work on this team to do A, B, and C. So I am thinking, right, that's part of what we're getting here. Because if I'm She-Hulk, I want to know who leaked the footage. Where did it come from? Right, and why the timing was so
perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah. So, but also, it means that this show is taking place at the same time as Shang-Chi.
Do you think?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Wong specifically says, yeah, I broke him out. I offered him to stay at Karmitage, which is lovely this time of year, which means we're in the same time frame.
But there's something else that Wong said that for me kind of actually threw it out, because when he was
the memory spell.
When he said that, like,
we don't know where Spider-Man takes place in the timeline.
We still haven't figured that.
Think about it, because again, we talked about how in Ms. Marvel, when they show the Statue of Liberty, it doesn't have
that cap shield.
No shield. There's none of that is there. There's none of the construction going on. So we don't know exactly when that takes place. We just know it's after the snap.
Look at Disney Plus, because they have the timeline, like the show. I have to look and see if they've actually thrown that in.
They put it in there somewhere. Yeah,
if they actually put them in. Or
yeah, because I know like the group joints are in, like they show where they fall in the timeline. If you go and look at it across, the board, you can double check it. But based on that, just hearing him say again, it could be within a couple of months, and it still be like this time of year, Karmitage is beautiful. But that also again means that this is prior to Multiverse of Madness. Karmitage hasn't been attacked yet. See what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Right now, yes, the Sorcerer Supreme will be pretty busy. He could be walking in and out. It could be that when now I got to go back and look at Far From Home, when Wong is making the portals and walks in and out of Far From Home, where he's going or what it is that he's doing.
Yeah.
Because we know he's already Sorcerer Supreme at that time. We don't know how long he's been Sorcerer Supreme.
At least during the snap,
during
I guess
the 5 years. Yeah. So, but that would mean that, that would mean that Shang-Chi would have had to have happened early on.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the timeline right now, and what's interesting, obviously, of course, the Spider-Mans don't show up on Disney Plus,
Correct.
Obviously.
Correct.
But She-Hulk, as of now, so it's Shang-Chi, Eternals, Multiverse of Madness, Hawkeye, Moon Knight. Here's the interesting one. It's She-Hulk, then Ms. Marvel.
All right, hold on. Do that again. Shang-Chi.
So,
okay,
Shang-Chi,
but listen, that doesn't necessarily mean that these things aren't all happening
at the same time, like possibly at the same time as
like
well,
in the
too.
same time frame. Like what's happening with Ms. Marvel could very easily be happening at the same time as.
And I would think if that was I hate this whole
Shang-Chi is based in San Francisco,
right?
Not far from LA. So what's happening in New Jersey and what's happening in San Francisco could certainly be happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Wong showing up in Shang-Chi and inviting them back to Karmitage. Again, this is clearly before Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Because Karmitage is not damaged, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. It also then, though, does to some extent beg the question, where is Shang-Chi during Multiverse of Madness? Right? If Multiverse of Madness takes place afterwards. And if he needed to use Abomination as training for becoming the Sorcerer Supreme, it would seem to me that joint would have happened before they undid the snap.
No, that.
You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
if Doctor Strange was Sorcerer Supreme before the snap, he gets snapped, and nobody knows what happens. Does Wong immediately become the Sorcerer Supreme? For 5 years, is there no Sorcerer Supreme? And then even though he comes back, Wong is like, well, I'm up first now because of, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But it wouldn't seem that would be the case to me. And with them saying, oh, like even Peter being like, I thought you was the Sorcerer Supreme. I'm like, well, I was, but Wong got it on the technicality.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or there's something else that's not right with this whole, because I don't really understand what the point of him having to train in order to become the Sorcerer Supreme. Unless he was Sorcerer Supreme and just as Sorcerer Supreme, he felt like he needed to get his skills up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? For whatever threats are coming. And so it wasn't, I have to go back and listen to the wording again. Maybe it wasn't for him to become the Sorcerer Supreme, but I feel like that.
He said become. I swear become was in that verbiage that he said.
I had to go look at it again. But timeline wise, I'm a little confused. But again, that would also put Hulk off-world before multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
But if She-Hulk takes place after Ms. Marvel, again, this could all be within a short
Weeks, a
time
couple
frame.
months, something like that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a little tricky. Some of the stuff that is in the re-release of Spider-Man with the additional footage, like fills in a few blanks, but like I don't think it's quite enough
Nothing
to be.
major.
I mean, there's some stuff in there, but I don't know if it's enough to be super effective to the rest of the MCU. Anyway, yeah, your man Blonsky ends up just being like, they're like, that's all fine and good. Okay, he was taken against his will, and we understand that Emil Blonsky is, not a threat. But Abomination, when he goes out there and he turns into some rampaging monster,
Right.
Then what? And he's like, I got this. Give me a second. Let me just calmly take off my
Take
ugly
my
shoes.
Crocs. Take
And
off
she
my
is
Crocs.
like, no, please do not do this,
Not-
sir.
Not do this. Not do this. Do not. He's like, nah, it's fine, Jen. Everything's all right. No, it's not all right. What are you doing? My man straight up transforms and she flips it. Again, that's one of the things that I just love about that right then and there. And she's like, all right, look, clearly, let everybody safe. He didn't mean any harm. He didn't mean to scare anybody. However, this clearly shows that like he could have changed and gotten out of this cell anytime.
Any point.
Yep.
He could have walked away from this joint anytime he wanted, and he didn't. And that in combination with Wong saying he chose to come back to his cell because I would have gave him sanctuary. Y'all can't come to Carmitage. What y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't Scarlet Witch.
Facts.
Y'all can't. Y'all ain't no threat.
Hey, listen. In the same way, my man was like, so you realize you just admitted you committed a very high crime. He was like,
Wong said, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Old Dusty Trail.
yeah, what y'all gonna do? Yeah, so all right, Blonsky's out. We have to wait and see what that means for Blonsky, but I think Abomination is clearly being set up to be important further down the line. Down the line.
Somebody's gonna request his services.
Straight up.
Oh, they probably gonna take out his pen pals. Nah,
Yeah.
my man gonna get set off.
Something better not touch them pen pals, boy. This is the thing. When he turned into Abomination, they cut to the pen pals and they was
they
like,
was-
"Whoop."
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Wait a minute, y'all.
I was like,
Whew. I'm having flashes.
you can turn into that at will? Oh.
What is happening here? Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on.
There was some of that Abomination.
What is going on, Disney Plus? So when they sitting in the bar, she's like, man, I just want this to be over. Like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not trying to be famous. I don't want. Listen, when they was cutting to all them people in the beginning of the joint, and my man was like, I don't know about y'all, I smashed.
Smash that, yo. I was like,
What are we doing, Disney Plus? Here's the thing. Those comments and stuff that they showed, like trolling, talking about, oh, so now it's the Me Too movement, and now we gotta have all these female heroes or whatever. Y'all know that those are real comments.
Oh,
Those
really?
are all actual comments that Disney took from when they did the original announcement of She-Hulk. Those are all actual comments and posts that
dig it.
people made. They took the doors and put them right in the show.
I dig that.
That show's dope.
Fire.
That show's dope.
Based off of true events.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Exactly. The idea of her being internet famous and not wanting to be,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea in her head that like people only care because I'm defending Blonsky. Like it's not gonna matter after this. They're just gonna let it go. And her girl being like, no, you don't understand. Like
you're not on Twitter like I am.
You're carrying Abomination's baby, and you're showing a baby bump. You know what I'm saying right now? Like, and she's like, oh, that's what the father is. I'm just like, yo. Then my man Pug shows up and is like, oh my god.
Like he's stressed. Like I need a drink.
I need one of
How
those.
did y'all deal with this man? She's like, oh, I killed him multiple times in my head. You
All
gonna need
sorts of
drinks.
Just
Yo.
there you go, brother. Slide it over to him.
Slide it
Don't
over.
take that.
My man got that moment of like, hey, would you be willing to say that in court?
What? Like my man saw that. Like
She like, bet I'm in there. She was so happy to sit in that joint and be like, this dude is the most narcissistic. He named his office the Dentisphere. Hey, dog, I hate this dude, bro. She's straight up. And that's the funny thing about it is that, like, in the beginning of the joint, she's like, you thought you were dating Megan Thee Stallion. Like, multi-Grammy award-winning Megan. You thought Megan Thee Stallion drives a Passat like you? And then straight up is like, nah. This dude would absolutely believe that the way that
pull
Pug
Megan Thee
asked,
Stallion.
would he believe he could pull Megan Thee Stallion?
Oh, with a smile on her face? Absolutely.
So delusional.
No further
He would
questions.
absolutely believe he could pull Megan Thee Stallion. She back there like, yeah.
Yep.
What is happening here, yo?
I rest my case, Shirley.
Straight up, bro. Look, found Shorty guilty, gave my man his 175, and sent Shorty to 60 days in jail for impersonating the judge. She was hot. No. And that ain't gonna work out.
No.
I don't know where she gonna get
They're not gonna be able to find her.
$175K from. I don't know where she's.
She better hope she ain't spent his.
Right.
But I'm
What?
pretty sure she blew through it.
Hey, listen, if she didn't, she probably got it from somebody else. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So they're walking out. And Dennis is like, hey, y'all think I could go really get Megan? Like, should I go back?
No.
No, don't do it. Nah, bro, don't do it. And then, she gets this idea from him about the inhibitor
Mm-hmm.
joint, which we talked about. Like, okay, this is the thing. Bruce had a joint that was making him human. Inhibitor collars. She suggested it. So as a lawyer and as somebody who's on that side of things, the idea that they have them and the fact that they clearly must work in some capacity. And again, we saw them when we were dealing with what was happening to Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We're going down that road. You know what I mean? And she clearly must have suggested it as part of his parole to make sure that she won the case, right? That he's, they're like, in light of what we've seen, he's good to go, but he has to wear this inhibitor. He must keep it on at all times. He is not allowed to turn into Abomination at all or else, which I feel like is going to be the other thing that's thrown in. That's somebody who shows up and is like, listen, we're doing this thing. It's the Thunderbolts, and we need you to help us do this, this, and this. I think that's going to be part of it. That might be part of, like, we don't worry about the inhibitor collar thing. We got that under lock. You know what I'm saying? Or once it happens, we'll be able to keep you out of jail, or whatever, because we're government sanctioned or.
I think he's just gonna have to. I think something's gonna happen, like whether it's he has to save somebody or something, and he has to turn into Abomination, and then afterwards, they come to him and it's like, oh, we know you got to go back to prison because you turned into the Abomination, but we got this little thing that we can do with you. If you choose to help us out, we keep you out of jail. Like
I mean,
feel
it
like
could be, but like, what are the circumstances under which Abomination has to save somebody? Like, I honestly don't feel like we see Abomination for the rest of the show,
his pen pals.
except for in a after credit
scene.
Yep, at the very end. I think we're done with him.
Done with him for now.
Yeah, I don't think we see him at all anymore.
He'll be on his meditation rants when they show it, and he'll get approached.
So, look, we know that Daredevil shows up in the show. We know that the two of them are going to work together, and we know that she's going to be in She-Hulk form and wearing her She-Hulk uniform at some point. It's not just going to be Matt Murdock, but it appears like it's going to be Daredevil. So there's going to be some work that has to get done, right? And maybe there's going to be some lawyering that has to happen with that. Maybe it could be tied to the attempt that they made at the end of the show with the Wrecking Crew showing up. Them dudes are so corny, but the Wrecking Crew showing up, to try to get her blood. Clearly somebody put them up to it. Could be the same person that's going to try to hire, Abomination. Could be that they just want to get Abomination so they can get a hold of his blood because they weren't able to get hers. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Could be that he gets out, and the fact that he's out because they couldn't get her blood, they attack him. Maybe he is in the show. They attack him to take his blood. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
We obviously have to see where that's going. Wrecking Crew's corny. I like that she kind of forgot that she has the.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, that's right. It just hulks out, if you will.
Like, about the body, y'all.
Yeah, get off
y'all
of
sure
me.
y'all want to do this?
Did y'all steal all that from like an Asgardian construction worker or something?
Yeah.
It kind of works that way. I don't know what you know about the Wrecking Crew, but basically, like the lead dude had an enchanted crowbar, like an enchanted Asgardian crowbar or something like that, and then he led the crew. He attracted lightning, got hit with a lightning bolt. That affected all the rest of them and gave everybody else power. That's like, again, comics. Clearly didn't go quite that route with this, but obviously they got sent by someone to do it. And I have to imagine that someone is probably also somewhere along the lines of the person who leaked the footage of Abomination, being out or something like that. So also, if you're going to do something like that and you know that person can turn into the She-Hulk, unless they feel like it had to be She-Hulk in order for him to do it, which I don't think, my man was like, I couldn't pierce that nasty green skin. Shut up, you love it. But
right.
You would think, let me run up on you and stab you with the needle first.
Beforehand, do that first before we do anything else.
Let's start with that. Like, we don't,
makes sense.
Like, I don't know what they was doing. I don't think they needed to capture her or whatever. But again, these guys seem kind of dumb. So all right, which is about par for the course of the Wrecking Crew. But that's how the show ends. The show ends with her picking her stuff up and looking at herself in the reflection on the car. And I feel like they don't really say it, but I'm wondering if it's kind of a, Blonsky said to her, you might just want to, she said, stay out of the news because I'm just tired of seeing stuff about us together. And he was like, you might want to rethink that because you're gonna be in the news anyway. You might as well control the narrative. You might as well have some say in what's going on with it, which prompts her to actually, do an interview. And her making the kind of correction she's making when they're like, she defended a She-Hulk, was his lawyer and defended Abomination. She's like, his name's Emil Blonsky. My name's Jennifer Walters. You know what I mean? Right. Where does She-Hulk come from? Listen, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, somebody did it. Somebody stupid said it and it stuck. So I guess that's, what it is. And now she's going to share her health tips with us. I'm going to do, what happened?
I'm going to do what? Excuse me?
Excuse
that
me?
wasn't in that contract.
But again, I think that this is that in combination with her, like having that moment where she's afraid for her life for a second and then realizing like, I don't actually have to be afraid.
Be like this no more.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, yeah, these dudes have Asgardian weapons. So you don't necessarily know that these dudes can't hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like you was a little extra confident.
Oh, she was.
You know what I'm saying? Like that really could have gone. But I'm going to tell you what about that fight. I must have watched this joint like 4 times in a row. She takes a man's face and slams
that joint
to another man's face, bruh.
I
That
felt
sends
like
him into the wall. And that last dude she just chucked in the air. Just threw my man in the air. And she kneels to like pick up her papers and stuff and kind of gets up and sees her reflection. It feels like that was kind of the thing for her. Somewhere between what Blonsky said and her controlling the narrative and also coming to a place of accepting that this is who she is. Mm-hmm. You know, in the beginning of the episode, middle of the episode, she's still talking to her friend about like, this is going to be over in a minute. Like Blonsky is going to be over. And once this is done, I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like, no, sweetie, you're not just a lawyer in the superhero law division. You're the face of it. You're the head of the superhero law division. These are other people that work for you, sort of as you work under Slim. And it means that more cases are going to come to you like this. And eventually it might become regular, but up front, these kind of cases are going to be more high profile cases because they're going to be, and anything you're involved in is going to be high profile because you're already She-Hulk. And so to me,
and even outside of that, you're a Hulk now. Like everybody knows who you are. Like it's correct. You cannot avoid it. And you're gonna have idiots like the Wrecking Crew who are gonna come up and try to test you, do you harm because they just don't like you, or another random villain you don't know about just for whatever reason. Like yes, it's a part of your life now, and you just are gonna have to just get with it and accept it. That's what it is from now on.
Yeah, it was
whether you like it or not.
It was crazy interesting to me that like her. Like they walked up to her and was like, if you're gonna be walking around showing off your powers, she was like, when did I show off my powers? Like when did I other than in the courtroom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't even trying to be She-Hulk 90% of the time. She's doing it because she has to for her job. And probably in some manner was a little thankful the fact that she had to go into the jail with Blonsky and not have to be couldn't be She-Hulk in those moments, right? It also allows them to save money on the CGI by having her in situations where she can't be She-Hulk. Cool. Business, y'all.
Hey, does she need to be She-Hulk in this scene? Nah, I think we can get away with it.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. So this is what I want you to do. I have a major question. Jokes, I'm gonna ask you. I'm a little scared of what you're gonna say. Cause you just be making up stuff. But here's my question. In the after credit scene, she walks into her office. Oh, there's my favorite new client. Why is Megan Thee Stallion a client of She-Hulk's in the superhuman law division?
Now that one got me. So maybe somehow within the confines of this universe, Megan Thee Stallion is a mutant for some stupid reason.
Okay.
Maybe she's a mutant. Maybe we haven't seen any powers or abilities. Maybe her knees or whatever are her mutant power. I don't know. I guess that didn't come off right to you guys.
Did you just say that?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'd like to have that remark stricken from the record.
The Megan knees. No, because for her twerk.
We know what knees you're talking about. No, the Megan knees.
Yes. But y'all made it worse. Y'all.
No, we didn't.
I'm done.
Oh, are you blaming us?
Right.
Are you blaming us for what you said?
Very much so.
Sin.
Yes.
Why is Megan Thee Stallion signing paperwork with She-Hulk in the superhuman law division?
Look, the one thing I can think of is, she sat in on the case with, her name being put out there and everything. She must have liked the law firm, went there, seated, figured out, oh, She-Hulk, this big high profile Hulk woman is in there. I just want her, just throw around the influence. I just want her to, be my new lawyer. I like her. I want her to be my lawyer. I like this for her, but I want her to be my lawyer. That's the only thing that makes sense to me right now.
I'm thinking maybe she has her on like a retainer in case something like that happens again and like somebody impersonates her. Like, or maybe it's like, oh, this woman was walking around impersonating me I want to sue her too. And so now it's,
Could be that.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you got to think in a world like the one that they live in,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of things, like if something happens and like my car gets destroyed or my mansion gets hit by some superhuman catastrophe,
Mhm.
I want somebody on retainer so that I'm covered for it. Like, again, it's the kind of thing that, remember they had that show?
The
They had a
DC joint.
show, huh?
It was a DC one where they were supposed to be
DC,
doing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens was in the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about like an insurance company that like covers people in a world where there's superhuman people. You know, they covered like people for like it was a Brian Michael Bendis like show, and it was like only available on like PlayStation or something for like a moment or whatever. I can't remember what the name of the show
I
was.
can't remember if they had a full season or not. Maybe.
I think it had one season, but that was it.
Yeah, I don't think.
No, it wasn't. No, I didn't
I
go
mean,
past that for sure.
It was based, I believe, on a book, like on an actual book or whatever, but they only got one season. Nonetheless, you know, obviously in a world like this one, you know, people are probably gonna have, there's somebody out there who's selling superhero insurance, like superhuman incident insurance, or
has your car ever gotten flattened? Has your house ever been blown up?
Like, there has to be somebody, especially like after the snap and you know all that happened or what happened in New York. Somebody had, I guarantee you there were people who were like, "Yo, my car got destroyed," and they was like, "Yeah, we don't cover that, bro." Like that's not in your policy, Slim. You're on the hook for that one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so there had to be something like that. And so to have a law division that kind of is in that same vein, I guess that's what it is. Shorty said, "You way more fun than my last lawyer." I wonder if Megan Thee Stallion's actual lawyer took that personally.
That would be hilarious.
I wonder if she walked into her lawyer's office the next time and her lawyer was like, "I could twerk." Like,
see, look at what I can do.
I'm fun.
So I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion.
Now you know.
Straight up.
And I was like, she will do it too.
Take it back. Take it down a little bit.
Be a little. All right, so a couple of important questions. One, jokes. Did Tatiana Maslany do the actual motion capture for She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion?
Yes, she did.
Are you positive?
I've seen pictures of her in the mocap suit.
Twerking, sir?
Sir, she was standing. They had to get a little elevated footstool thing, kind of thing. She was completely in the mocap suit doing it. I was like,
bop, bop, bop.
Important.
Oh, man.
So important. Another important question. Sin. I probably should have asked you last time and during the last episode. Are we getting Planet Hulk?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Somewhere down the line.
Jokes. How does Daredevil show up in this show, and does it happen in the next episode? Either one, Daredevil or Matt Murdock. It could be, you know, either version.
Definitely Daredevil. I think she's going to go on a case, and somehow either things go awry, and he shows up, and we're at that point. I don't think she'll learn that he's Matt Murdock. I think we'll just get Daredevil.
Do we see Daredevil in the next episode?
I'm gonna say episode after the next one.
Okay, episode 5.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with it, 100%. All right, so at the end of this, we're still at an 8.
Yep.
Still good.
It's not an 8.
3 8s in a row. That feels pretty significant. Pretty significant. All right, looking forward to the next episode.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Most definitely.
Sin.
Yeah.
Have we now set the precedence that every other episode will end with a female rapper doing the end credits?
It seems like that's what they're aiming at. Yeah. A different song, different rapper every time. Yeah. That's what it seems like they're doing.
Jokes. Will the She-Hulk soundtrack be fire?
I think it will be.
All right.
I think so.
Okay. What cameos do we have left besides Daredevil? Who else shows up?
Are they the only ones we know of
I think so.
so far?
I think so.
We're well out for a Daredevil show, obviously, but maybe we see. No, we ain't gonna see him. He's technically could be dead. I don't know. I'm actually.
I think this is it. Just Daredevil and that's it.
I feel like we're gonna get one more. That either sets up maybe our next movie, or probably maybe a scroll or something like that. Maybe something that starts tying us into like Secret Invasion or something like that. Like, I feel like maybe that's where we're gonna start leaning towards next.
Okay. I do like the fact, I just want to mention really quickly that they did ask her, like, is it true, the rumors that you turned into the She-Hulk due to the She-Hulk due to a mob hit or whatever, which is like talking about her original origin, where she was defending somebody and they shot her or whatever, and she had to get the blood transfusion from Bruce because of that. Okay.
That's cool.
Because this joint breaks the fourth wall and is so meta, does she ever mention David Banner as opposed to Bruce Banner?
I don't think so.
Because remember there was the one like trailer they did that was made to look like the original 70s show where he was David Banner instead of Bruce Banner, and they did the whole "you wouldn't like me when I'm angry" thing. Does that happen somewhere in the show? Does she say the words? Does it happen in the show?
But you wouldn't like me when I'm angry?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah, she'll say it.
Then she wants.
I think somewhere towards the end, like whenever the climactic fight.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I don't think she is.
Okay. Maybe she holds it back and is, just getting that off one time would be fun.
I like it. Okay, y'all. This has been your Spoiler Boys for episode 3 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Make sure you're checking us out across all social media. Just at Loading Snacks. That makes it real easy to find us. And once you find us there, make sure you like, share, and support across everything you see us do. We're doing anime stuff. We're doing spoilery stuff. We're doing wrestling stuff. Somebody's doing wrestling stuff. Jokes, you doing wrestling stuff?
Wrestling stuff, yeah.
Oh, man. So y'all make sure y'all check us out across the board. We appreciate y'all. With that, we're out. Toodles and loose.